the Prophet ﷺ said that this was the dua of the prophets on Arafah. And so if you could think of the Prophet ﷺ and Ibrahim alayhi and Musa alayhi and Isa alayhi and the prophets of Allah, this was the dua that they would make throughout the day. But what did I want to do is I was thinking about a Hajj without guides. I want to put you in a situation in which you can capture, inshallah ta'ala, a few glimpses of the Sahaba of the Prophet ﷺ, the companions, and their various personal du'as. If you were going around and you were taking guidance from various companions, and to preface this, I'm not suggesting that the following narrations took place in the same year, but just some of the glimpses, the few glimpses we have of the companions of the Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam on that blessed day. And there are 3 incidents. I want you to imagine that you have arrived at the plain of Arafah, and you are looking around, and when you look right and left, you see the companions of the Prophet ﷺ and their children. And you see them all gauging themselves and preparing themselves for the greatest day of the year. And on that day comes one of the most wealthy companions of the Prophet ﷺ and his nephew-in-law, the nephew of Khadija radiyallahu ta'ala anha, Hakim ibn Hizam radiyallahu ta'ala anhu. And Hakim ibn Hizam, the nephew of Khadija, was an extremely wealthy man. In fact, someone who the Prophet ﷺ warned not to get attached to his wealth. And the Sahaba described the scene, and the Tabi'een described the scene, that on the day of Arafah he comes. And as he comes forward, Hakim ibn Hizam, لما حضر يوم عرفة معه 100 رقبة و100 بدنة و100 شاة. He would bring forth 100 people that were enslaved. And he would bring forth 100 camels, and he would bring forth 100 sheep. And he would say, "Oh my Lord, هذا كله لك." All of this is for you. And he would set free 100 people from captivity, 100 people that were enslaved. And then he would order for the camels and for the sheep to be sacrificed on the day of the sacrifice. And as he did that, as you saw this man coming forward, and the Prophet ﷺ said that whoever frees a person from slavery, that Allah will free every single part of his body from the fire. The people are watching him, and everyone breaks down into tears. And they call out to Allah in their buka and their crying. And they say, رَبَّنَا هَذَا عَبْدُكَ قَدْ أَعْتَقَ عَبِيدَهُ وَنَحْنُ عَبِيدُكَ فَأَعْتِقْنَا. Oh Allah, this is a slave like all of us. And he has freed other slaves. And we are all your slaves, O Allah, so free us from the fire. Free us from the punishments. As you move over, you see Sayyidina Ali ibn Abi Talib radiyallahu ta'ala anhu, who was narrated by Ibn Abi Dunya that he was going around and he was telling the people how to get ready for the day of Arafah and preparing them for the day of Arafah. And he said to them, radiyallahu ta'ala anhu, لَيْسَ فِي الْأَرْضِ يَوْمٌ إِلَّا وَلِلَّهِ فِيهِ عُتَقَاءُ مِنَ النَّارِ. There is not a day of the year except that on that day Allah frees certain people from the fire. Every day, from the mercy of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, every single day of the year, Allah frees someone from the fire. Someone is forgiven. And that's why it's important for us to not become seasonal Muslims, because we don't want Allah's forgiveness to be seasonal. We want His mercy, and we know that His mercy is extra in certain days, and His mercy is always extra. But you don't want to be a seasonal Muslim, someone who only makes tawbah, says, well, I missed it this Ramadan, I missed it this Arafah. Every single day is an opportunity. So he said, listen, every single day, Allah frees certain people from the fire. But he said, after he said that, he said, وَلَيْسَ يَوْمٌ أَكْثَرَ فِيهِ عِتْقًا لِلرِّقَابِ مِنْ يَوْمِ عَرَفَةِ. But there is not a day in the year that Allah frees more people from the fire than the day of Arafah. So there is not a day of the year except that Allah frees some people from the fire. But there is not a day of the year in which Allah frees more people from the fire than the day of Arafah. فَأَكْثِرْ فِيهِ أَن تَقُولْ اللَّهُمَّ أَعْتِقْ رَقَبَتِي مِنَ النَّارِ وَأَوْسِعْ لِي مِنَ الرِّزْقِ الْحَلَالِ وَاصْرِفْ عَنِّي فَسَقَةَ الْجِنِّ وَالْإِنسِ فَإِنَّهُ عَامَةُ مَا أَدْعُ بِهِ الْيَوْمِ. Now, it's going to be hard for you to memorize the du'as, and that won't be the point. You can go back and listen to it, inshallah ta'ala, listen to the khutbah and memorize these few du'as, but at least the spirit of it. He said, spend the day saying, Allahumma a'tiq raqabati min an-nar. Oh Allah, free my neck from the fire. Spend the day asking Allah, Allahumma a'tiq raqabati min an-nar. Oh Allah, free my neck from the fire.